we start a project, could be a legacy project, and team composition wise, we can choose either between 2 seniors or 1 senior and let's say 3 juniors. What would we do?
Yeah. I think it really depends on the type of project. I think in some projects, like having a little bit more seniority will help. Maybe it's more complex. Maybe the product is more complex and needs a more senior approach. On other projects, I think it's more executional work. So you can have a senior developer who's overseeing the work, and then a couple of junior developers who basically make sure that the work is done, and somebody who mentors, coaches, follows up on them. So I think it greatly depends on the situation. I also think there are a couple of advantages, like a senior, junior. What is your take on that?
We could maybe even go back and try to identify what junior and senior is.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that instead of using junior and senior,
mm-hmm.
I would say that the level of autonomy is what would make the distinction between the two of them, who is proactive and reactive.
Mm-hmm.
So if you would define the senior as somebody who's more proactive, we could say that in projects which are more execution-based, maybe less technically complex,
mm-hmm.
where there is a lot of effort to do, I would say that having more hands makes more sense,
mm-hmm.
which means that 1 senior and a few juniors would be more advantageous. But if the project is more technically complex, for example, or there's more things to find out, to identify, to analyze,
mm-hmm.
I think that more speed could be gained with having just 2 seniors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think there's also there's certainly also a risk in having 2 seniors on a team. Like, seniors are in general more opinionated, have their own style of doing things. So, I think you have to find people that are complementary, that complement each other's skills, that this person fills this gap, the other person fills this gap, so that they can collaborate fairly closely. There's also a benefit of having junior developers in a way that they come up with ideas that the senior developers didn't really think of. Like they're fresh out of school, they're fresh
mm-hmm.
out of education or maybe boot camp, so they come up with techniques or approaches that you necessarily didn't think about as a senior developer. So there's definitely a pro and a con for each approach, I think.
Yeah. You could also say that more people in the team means more communication overhead.
Mm-hmm.
So there are just
True.
more communication lines,
Yeah, true.
which is something to take into account as well. If you have less people, there's less overhead.
Yeah, definitely. So I think we can conclude by saying that there's no really definitive answer to the question. It really depends on the situation, on the style of the developers, on how they want to approach their work, and what the current phase of the project is.
Mm-hmm.